I'm Colette here with Which Ways Today, and I'm going to talk about magical protection. I really love interacting with people on videos, so put your comments and your questions below and like and subscribe and enjoy today's video. There are a few different types of protection that we need. As witches, we need magical protection when we're doing a working or at other times in our life. And not all spirits are beneficial. Some are, in fact, harmful. Many aren't really harmful, but their energy just doesn't really mesh with ours. It's a little bit like the shark thing. Are sharks evil? No, they're not. But they don't blend really well with us in the water when we're flailing around with the cut. Physical protection is important as well for our homes, our cars, and our bodies. Everyone sometimes needs protection, but especially people who are marginalized or oppressed in this culture. And obviously the answer to that is to change the culture. Culture change can be slow. So in the meantime, magic can offer a bit of a buffer. And if you're interested in helping to do that physically, I've put some equity resources down below in the description. Usually the techniques that I'm sharing today will work for both physical protection and magical protection. But if you're focusing on one or the other, you might want to just really hone your intention in on that particular aspect of things as you do the technique. An easy thing to create are magical crosses using plant material. Crosses have been made as protection probably by people before Christianization. You just take 2 sticks or some stiff plant material that has protective properties and tie it together to form a cross and hang it somewhere in your house, in your windows, your doorways, your car, or you can even carry it on your person. So here's some herbs that I have used for that particular practice. Oak, generally expansive, protective, and draws beneficial energy to you. Rowan, it is protective and it is strongly associated with protection against lightning. It also helps increase psychic awareness, so good for use in a magical household. Elder is extremely powerful as a protector and healer. She was strongly revered and was given the name Eldamore or Lady Elhorn. There are some cautions with Elder around being really careful what intention you put in because she amplifies your intention so strongly. Symbols are powerful magical tools and they can be used in a lot of different ways. You can make a sketch of a stylized drawing of an animal that seems protective to you, that you have a relationship with. You can use a protective rune symbol if you are familiar with them. You can draw a sigil, which is a kind of symbol if you are knowledgeable about them. Or you can use any symbol that signifies protection or boundaries for you. You can even use modern symbols such as a stop sign if that has meaning for you and is applicable to the situation. To use symbols, you can draw them on a piece of paper, a piece of thin birch bark, or even draw them on a leaf that has fallen. You can then bury them in the 4 corners near your house. You can slip them under a carpet in your room or in your house. You can also hang them in places where others can't see them around your house. You can also take that paper, leaf, or birch bark that you have written the symbol on, place protective herbs like rosemary or St. John's wort in the middle of it, wrap it up, and then bury that bundle in the earth. so that the protection seeps out to where it needs to go. You can also take that bundle of paper and herbs and burn it. The fire takes that energy to the spirit world. And as you're doing that, you can ask any guardian beings that you work with to help protect you and keep you and yours safe. Sometimes it's helpful to put a physical circle around your house, room, or yard. This isn't like a really solid circle that takes us between the worlds like we do when we're doing rituals or workings. It's more of a filter and a protective barrier, and you should think about it that way as you do this work. After all, you want beneficial people like someone who's bringing you checks in the mail to be able to get through, or people who are bringing you gifts, or your friends to be able to get through. It's not a barrier that keeps everyone out. So keep that intention in mind when you're placing that circle around your yard. Some traditional methods of doing that are sprinkling salt water, any bodily fluid like urine is a very old method, or also blood taken from with a sterile lancet from your finger. It's hard to get a lot that way. Menstrual blood is highly valued because it comes out in quantity usually, and you can dilute it with water and spread it around the perimeters for protection. Not everybody wants to work with body fluids, but if you decide that that choice is for you, it's a very old and powerful form of protective and potentizing magic. A few weeks ago, I put up a video about how to make a banishing herbal spray, and that can also function as protection as well. And so you can spray that around your doorways and around your windows or the corners and entranceways of your yard if you want. Herbs can be very protective, magical tools. So one way to use them is if you have access to plants, you can cut stalks of protective herbs and hang them in your doorways, in your windows, or in a central location in your house. If you don't have access to plants that you can dry or get fresh, you can get dried herbs from the store, place them in a cloth, pull the ends up, tie them with thread, preferably red or black thread, and tie 3 knots saying, "By the power of 3 times 3, as I will it, so mote it be," as you hold the intention of protection in your mind. This can then be hung up near your entranceways, can be carried on your person, in your car, or on your bike. You can also hang them somewhere in your house centrally as well. There's lots and lots of protective herbs, and I'm about halfway through a whole program, on-demand program about herbal magic, where I'll talk about that at length. But some examples are rosemary, hyssop, agrimony, and blue vervain. There are lots of protective herbs out there, and if you are from a particular place, you can often just Google your ethnicity and say protective herbs, and some suggestions will come up. As usual with most things, it's easier to find information about European magical herbs than online from other cultures. Often the herbs that are protective are also clearing and move energy out, but this isn't always the case. Each herb is unique. However, I do find that there is a lot of crossover, and many protective herbs can also be used for clearing. Not all. For me, the way it works is it tends to be a lot about the way that I apply them or use them. So, for instance, if I burn them, use them in a steam, or brush the object or wash the object or myself with herbs, that tends to be more clearing. However, if I hang them or wear them or sprinkle them around boundaries and doorways, I find them to be more protective and repellent. You don't always need objects or liquids or herbs in order to protect yourself magically. The next few techniques I'm going to talk about are a little bit more advanced. So one of the things you can do is, if you work with beings, you may have beings that are protective and are interested in being available and called upon when you have need of protection. For instance, familiars that have passed over may be very interested in protecting you. You may have an animal ally that is interested in protecting you, or beings from other realms that are interested in that work. And again, that's a reciprocal relationship. It takes time to develop, and you need to make sure that you're giving back in some way. Another thing that you can do is, again, this is more advanced, if you work with energy and know how to visualize energy moving, you can imagine a color that feels protective to you starting in the center of your body and moving outwards, carrying anything out that does not belong to you and is not for your best interest. On the physical level, and this is something everyone can do, taking care of your body to the best of your ability given the circumstances that you have. Lots of times people are in physical straits where they just don't have a lot of ability to do some of the things we typically think of as taking care of your body, but be creative. Just do the best that you can. And then the final thing I want to say about that in it using energetics is, it's a good idea to cast a circle before you do any kind of ritual or divination work. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe. Check out the equity resources and upcoming classes list below, and be well.